So we are live on Facebook Live. I'm here today with George Barbov, who I had the great privilege to meet at one of the most amazing Golden Civilization conversations that I've experienced. It was a group in Coventry. It was college and university students, and George was amongst them. It was one of the most diverse groups, I think, that I've encountered in this movement, Golden Civilization Conversations. There were students from Malaysia, from Somalia, from different countries, I think Eritrea, from Bulgaria, really from all over the world were in that conversation. It was set up in a classroom type setting, and I'd say there were somewhere between 40 and 60 people in the group. Everybody was eager to participate, but among the most eager and the most outstanding was the young man that I'm having this conversation with right now, and that I want you to meet, George Barbov. George, how are you?
I'm very well. George. How are you today?
I'm doing great. I'm so looking forward to having this conversation with you.
Same.
And now at Coventry, I mean, it was really amazing because with all the diversity, people from all over the world were in that room. And at the same time, it was mostly a business, like a business school group, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yes, it is, because we were based in the faculty of Business and Law. So most of the students in that room were particularly interested in some kind of business area. It might be finance, it might be economics, accounting, those kind of stuff. And you are right, absolutely diverse university, very international cities, Coventry, people from all around the globe who are watching you and your Golden Civilization talk. It was amazing, I can say. One of the reasons I'm here now speaking with you. It was an amazing experience for me.
Yeah, and it was absolutely amazing for me as well, George. You know, with all the diversity, and people were passionate about the Golden Civilization, and what a surprise, because they were coming and studying to become basically in business. So tell me what was exciting for you, and why do you think the group was so engaged?
I think first it was because everyone had something to say. So you asked people, instead of talking, you were listening, which is very, very important. Everyone wants a better life. Sometimes I think we're just going too fast through life. And you just came and say, wait a minute, let's be present, let's take a step back, see what we really want. And from then on, the discussion just it just organically increased. Yes.
Yeah.
It was very, very good.
It stunned me afterwards that I mean, it was the structure of the conversation is really for the facilitator, and there have been many others who facilitated. I just happened to facilitate this one, but for the facilitator to really listen and to try to draw out from everybody. And it seemed like just about everybody of the 50 or 60 people who were there shared.
Yes, indeed. I actually invited a few of my friends, which not actually studying business. Most of them engineers, and after the meeting, I must say they were blown up. It was very impressed.
Yeah. Well, and why do you think they were? What is it that excited them most, do you think?
I think because we discovered that everyone has ideas, and when we group them together, something beautiful can be created. I think this was the most important thing. Everyone participated, and if you remember the circle, I think this was the most impressive part, because everyone had a part in the circle.
Yes. Yes, that's so the circle that George is referring to is the first flip chart. We have three flip charts here. We were working with a large whiteboard in the background, and the first of the flip charts is the vision, and it's what we call a
Yes.
golden civilization. And it's not created by the facilitator. It's not created by me or coming out of my book. Very few people, if anybody, had actually read my book there at that time. So it entirely comes from the audience. And part of our job is to draw forth from the audience. And I think what George said is amazing. You know, here we are. I mean, this was in England. It was with students, as we've said, from all over the world. You'd think there would be polarization, there would be difference, there would be argument. Gosh, everybody wanted the same thing, didn't they?
Yes, yes, indeed.
Yeah.
We managed to find a common ground, and we realized everyone wants the same. Everyone is in pursuit of happiness, and we could manage to see the power of ideas.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it was amazing. And George, you also you've immigrated, you've moved, you've at least come to study in England. Where are you from? Tell the audience where you're from and how you got there and how the golden civilization, you perceive it from the standpoint of your homeland.
Of course. Okay, George. So I'm originally from Eastern Europe, Bulgaria, very, very beautiful country. I've been studying and working there until my 25th birthday, and then I decided to pursue a degree in England, which I did almost immediately. Since young age, I had a passion for travel, so I wanted to experience something new. I always was kind of like a risk taker. Um, Wanting to know the unknown, go around the world, travel, meet new people, and here I am in England. I just graduated this May. Um, if I could turn back time, I would do exactly the same. So England is an amazing country. I met amazing people, including you and all the people from my university. As you said, very diverse people from all around the globe. Um, if I have to compare both countries, people almost the same. Good people, optimistic, having though their problems as well as anyone. And as we saw during the Golden Civilization talk, we all have some goal that unites us.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I was one of the main reasons to come to England was the bigger opportunities that people receive here, and easy access to education, for example. Not that we don't have it in Bulgaria, but it's just a little bit harder to maintain yourself as a student if you don't rely to some other help.
Yeah.
Otherwise, when I'm in Bulgaria, I miss England. When I'm in England, I miss Bulgaria now. So I'm between the two at the moment.
Yeah. And I imagine that's going to continue for a while. You'll probably have a foot in both countries. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's great. It's been great for me to get to know you and learn more about Bulgaria from you. And I'm wondering as well. You know, I don't know if you know this, but I'm just about to go off on a tour of 4 different Asian countries, including and stopping mainly in the cities of Mumbai and Singapore and Tokyo and Hong Kong. And I'm wondering, you know, as you've come from this experience of a tremendous diversity in the culture at Coventry. How do you think as I go from city to city, and largely I'm going to be going in the same field that you studied in, not merely business, but they're going to be a lot of the people I'm primarily brought over by the the certified financial analyst community. So really hard thinking, really bright statistical and mathematically accomplished people in finance, how do you think they will respond to a golden civilization conversation?
I think you will not experience much of a difference between the one that is about to come and the experience that you had in Coventry University, because I had the privilege to go in China probably 2 years ago myself. And at the beginning, I was expecting something completely different. Of course, different culture, different people. But when we were over there to visiting University of Finance and Economics in Hangzhou province near Shanghai,
Oh,
and I was pleasantly surprised to discover that again we for the short period of 2 weeks, I managed to meet so many people, so many nice people. And I think in all those cities that you're going to visit, all the people will respond very positively, and you will be surprised.
yeah, yeah. I'm very, as you might imagine, I'm greatly looking forward to it. And at the same time, 4 different cultures and cities halfway around the world in 10 days is quite a challenge.
It's quite a job,
Yeah,
of course.
yeah. But well, tell me more. Now, have you begun your career? Are you looking right now? Uh,
I'm still looking at the moment. As I said, I just took all of my exams. Now, following my qualification, I'm still about to complete that. For opportunities and more thinking about writing a book. You mentioned something that is very true nowadays: the lack of financial literacy in a lot of the in a big parts of the world, and I think this must be whoever has the knowledge must spread it. I think.
yeah, yeah.
So I
Well,
strongly believe that.
fabulous. Well, you've got absolutely fantastic professors there at Coventry who no doubt would be very enthusiastic for anything like that you would do, and great supports, Liu among them.
Yes, she's my favorite from all. If I have to be honest, no
Yeah.
hard feelings.
She's she's an amazing and inspiring professor and teacher, and been a great joy for me to meet as well. I'm wondering one other question for you. So there you are in the student experience. You're about to move out into the world, and you've had this experience at Golden Civilization. How do you think we can increase the students' awareness across the world in this Golden Civilization movement, in the conversations that we have?
First, I would say more conversations, more visits. Of course, this is related to your time, to your funding as well. But when you go around the world, I'm sure there are people that are willing to continue spreading the message. So I think this is what all of us should do. For example, in Coventry University, we're more than willing to continue doing the presentation. Even though I've graduated, I'm more than willing to go and speak in front of the new students. I think we all need to pull together in order to achieve the goal. And the second most important thing, if not the most important, is knowledge and awareness of the problems nowadays in the world. So better education, I must say, I'm big believer in education, in reading, reading news, in watching politics, if you will. Even though I personally don't like it, I think everyone as a person is responsible to be aware of the world that we live at the moment.
Yeah, that was one of the amazing things in my experience. There was how aware the students were, how interested they were, and none of us like politics, particularly now. It all feels polarized and difficult and all of that. But they valued so much their education. the freedom of speech that they experienced, certainly in the conversation, but in general at Coventry and in the UK. They really valued the freedom of assembly, the freedom of the press. These were, and they were gracious and gentle and kind, and it was really something. It was, not angry students, but students who really wanted to make a difference in the world and wanted to contribute to it. So it was a great privilege for me to be there. And perhaps we can organize something with Leanne, in the fall.
Yes.
Yeah. So maybe both of us could reach out to her, and that would be wonderful. I certainly will mention it to her again. George, is there anything else that you'd like to share before we close?
For me, again, it was a big pleasure meeting you. Big pleasure knowing about your book, having read it already. I'm sure I will reread it.
You're sure you will?
I will read it again.
Well, that's great.
I think it's a must. And as we said about the circle and the whiteboard, when you write down the problems and when you write down the ideas, it's easier to reflect and actually come up with a solution. I think every one of us should actually do that, even for our own and personal lives. It will be easier to solve those problems. We just need to identify them.
It was amazing just how well the structure worked there, because as you say, the vision was there in the circle, as you called it. And then we put down the obstacles, and then we put down actions, and then we took commitments. And what again was astonishing to me was how at ease and how clear everybody there was. I mean, these were students anywhere probably from 18 to 27 years of age. And they all knew what needed to be done and were quite positive optimistic about they had kind of what we call in America a can-do attitude toward it, and we're ready to get out and make it happen. Yeah, and
I think you
go ahead.
I think you made it quite simple to identify the problems, and once we see them and we're present, of course we're resourceful and we can see the solution.
Yeah. Well, it's happening all over the world. There have been well over 100 conversations now. I've been involved just with 40 of them, but have had words of them now on 5 continents. And as I say, we're about to take them to four new countries. So, George, it's been great talking with you. I can't wait to see you again. Hopefully in Coventry this fall. Thank you so much.
I'm waiting. Yes, of course. It will be a pleasure to meet you again. We can discuss about having the conversation here again, probably in the fall. And good luck, George. Good luck with the book and with your travel.
Thank you so much, and good luck as you make this tremendous transition in your life to being out in the world and working.